Hmm.
You know, she kind of reaches for her phone, just kind of reaches to text and sees a text that wasn't there a second ago from her.
Uh-oh.
Uh, wait, what? I didn't send this. Who's done?
I'm not sure. Someone who seems to be on the other phone.
Oh,
They might have been borrowing it. He might have been out at the moment. That makes sense.
oh, well, I mean, if he's got friends over, then kind of she looks visibly kind of crestfallen. I suppose that's cool too.
Please, give me just a moment. I need to go and check something on the internet. And
Well,
instead of going to check something on the internet, she's going to attempt to actually have the normal communication done.
fair enough. You're going to astral plane.
Yep.
Fair enough. You open yourself up to astral communication, and there is, yeah, you kind of open yourself up, and you are not necessarily you for a moment think, oh, there's no one around. Then you realise you've kind of opened yourself up right into the middle of something. So normally, two things are kind of at long disparate points between each other, but you've actually opened a doorway right into the middle of someone else's personal space. And yeah, it looks like a different time. It looks, well, I mean, I'm assuming Kiri is somewhat fashion conscious.
100%.
It's the early 1970s. God, may God have mercy upon your soul.
Oh dear God, I thought you were going to say something older and that would be actually chic again. No, it had to
No.
be something terrible.
The 70s was a dead zone culturally.
It's like you go to 50s or 80s, fashion happens again. Between those 2 points, we have problems.
That's fair enough. Yes, so yeah, you kind of there is period music on the jukebox. Like you can hear a radio somewhere in the distance. And you find yourself in a crowd. There's a crowd of people just standing around, all facing, like on the middle of a street. And off in the distance, you can see there's some kind of ceremony going on, some kind of opening ceremony. And this looks somewhat like Hotcap. This just looks like a much more populated version of it. And you can see some big, beautiful tiled front piece for. Yeah, if you look hard enough, you do actually kind of see it says closed lotus as on this big sign over a set of double doors, and there are some people standing around talking about it. And then from the back, you hear someone shout, "Mother Nature shall not be defiled like this!" And something arcs overhead. And there is like a sudden gasp and then a smash of glass and someone starts screaming.
Oh, this is entertaining. I'm just going to sit back and watch.
Fair enough. You sit there
Light a light cigarette.
The party of no fucks. I love you guys.
We're murderers. Are we supposed to care?
I know, but still. Yeah, this kind of relatively kind of middle-aged looking guy in like a white shirt and like jacket with very thick glasses on and very scraggly looking hair starts pushing his way through the crowd, kind of elbowing people. And yeah, this guy feels like he's the loci of the image you've walked into. He's kind of pushing his way through, and
anywhere in particular, just towards the center of the crowd,
towards where the towards where the actual ceremony is happening. Kind of elbowing, pushing, shoving. And yeah, a couple of police officers just start stepping in the way. And yeah, one of them just kind of takes this guy not too firmly, not too hard, but kind of firmly goes, "Come on, Dunn, come on, don't before this gets any worse. Just kind of come with me." And Dunn, the guy who's been identified as Dunn, just starts struggling and shouting and snarling. And as you start, the whole vision starting to distort again. And I'll just kind of throw more bones your way. Yeah, as you see that his shirt starts getting pulled up and kind of riled up, and up on his left arm, you do actually see a circle And out of character, it is very much similar to the circle that
Wow, who would have guessed?
was.
Out of character, yeah, I was thinking that.
Why does he have a
The one on the
Pokeball
tree.
him?
The one on the tree. So yeah, you see something, and it looks livid and red, and sore. And then kind of someone swings a baton, and the whole vision just kind of implodes. It basically just bursts like a soap bubble. And thank you for that Skype contribution as well, you bastards.
I was trying to quote it, and then couldn't wait together.
And now this man is Australian. Thank you for that. Yes, and the vision implodes, and you're left with. There is still a presence there, but now it feels like Dunn's presence, but older and bitter and colder. And yeah, again, this kind of overwhelming sense of decay and sickness. And yeah, you can now see that kind of there was a plateau further away that had kind of been obscured by this big vision that had been happening. And yeah, you see Dunn, practically skeletal, just kind of sat on the floor. Almost, I think he's in the lotus position. He's sitting there with his arms outstretched, his legs crossed, and there are branches and vines spilling out the back of his head, and there are leaves and like flowers and things growing out of his mouth, forming like a very long guru-like beard.
Interestingly, she's going to daintily but kind of sashay over there, making sure not to step on any plant matter that she can avoid.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah, as you walk forward, you do start to notice a lot of these plants. They're barbed, or they have very lurid, vivid smells and colours. You get the feeling everything here is poisonous. And yeah, as you get closer, Dunn's eyes very slowly open, and they are the same colour. They are a very kind of dark, gloopy colour that Damien's eyes had, but they are focused. They are solid. Well, they look much more eye-like. And he kind of blinks at you.
Hello. When she says that, she makes kind of a wave with her fingers only, kind of,
Just a little.
the thing where you like raise all your fingers in a row like a wave at a stadium, like that, and then immediately lower them again. Like that's her way of waving high.
That's fair enough. Right. Yeah. Dunn just kind of blinks again, and then you kind of hear it. It's very much just kind of coming in through the astral waves. More of you. You
Didn't mean to cause a disturbance. I apologize about that. I was hoping we could have some open communication here.
suppose when something's dying, the carrion feeders will flock here, won't they?
Believe me, it's not by choice. I'd rather not be here.
You won't have to be for much longer.
That's what I'm figuring from the current state of affairs, though my transport out of town is a bit ambiguous as to how that would happen at the moment. I was wondering if we could sit down and talk about the situation, I suppose. You're already sitting. Do you mind if I join you?
Kind of shrugs, nods over to a patch nearby.
Very carefully make sure there are no thorns or other toxic
Oh,
things.
there probably were, but he just kind of they maneuver out of the way so there's like a good circle that you could sit in comfortably.
Do the like saccharine smile snod.
Like,
And then carefully sit down in the way that's like putting both legs together over to the side.
yeah, I think this guy is beyond looking up your skirt, but
Well, it's definitely not that. It's definitely not doing that. It actually is skirt pointed in the complete opposite direction, but it's just kind of the way of, how you don't actually sit down.
Fair enough. Fair play. He kind of sits there for a second. You do understand that things must die before they can be renewed, yes?
That's perfectly fair. And are you wanting to do that to this town, is what I figure.
This town has been dying for decades. It just needed a push.
And you want to finish that push?
Yes, of course. I am just left with little other choice but to take drastic measures. If I had more resources, if I could channel the energies that a city holds, I could make this pass with much less suffering, but no, you people, you thrive off of this pain. You subside off it, you foster it. I would only ask that you allow me to complete my task in peace. If not, well, I suppose if you could aid me in this venture, maybe we could come to some kind of accord.
I was actually very open to that in the first place. Like daintily puts one hand over her chest. Well, really, that's exactly why I came to talk here. If I wanted to be aggressive, I wouldn't open myself up to you in such a way.
Um, I suppose that's true. Well, you're not like that other one. That housewife with the blank smiles and the sharp knives. And you're definitely not like that, abomination they conjured up in the woods.
Or which one?
Hmm? He pauses, actually turns and looks at you. There's more of you now.
She like puts up her hands in defeat. Again, I didn't choose to be here. I don't know circumstances about everything. I've been here for about a month at most.
Uh,
You lose track of time when you're in a situation such as this.
the woman in the town is Lacey Duval. She is a parasite, but the kind of parasite that just takes small bites. She's manageable. She's easily steered. But the thing they created up there, it just wants to kill and kill and kill. And a cull now and then, yes, but it's waging a war on everything. It needs... As much as I would like to fight it, I am not strong enough.
As much as I'd like to do anything, I'm not strong enough at the moment. I was attempting to arrange something to fix that. Though it seems we may have both been attempting to arrange the same thing from different sides.
Yeah, Dunn kind of shrugs. Are you aware of the local businesses in this area?
Only in passing, as much as I've seen them. My ward is not much of one to frequent those.
No, there's the lumber and there's the meat, and
Certainly, I know both of them.
then there's the, what do they call it? Tip of the tongue. Meth, that's it. That the little crystals that they sell. Those little
Oh, yes.
trailers they set up in the woods.
It's like 1,000-yard stares. She's remembering the past life.
I have seen some shit, and it was quite good.
Good ass shit.
It's like they're the ones who brought the trapper. They almost use it. If they were to go, or if they could have the trapper turned upon them, we could start to actually let this place die for good, but they just keep eking it out, just giving the town enough sustenance to survive without ever letting it recover. So, perhaps if you could help me find some way to break this link or turn it against itself, maybe we could help each other out.
I'm very willing to do that. Actually, in fact, I believe I could figure out a way to potentially go from, I suppose the inside would be the best way of saying it. Though, again, I'm not really in a state to do anything as of yet. Need something to tide me by, not necessarily saying strictly by your hand, though I do need at least some plan to resolve before I move any further. You understand?
Mm-hmm. I suppose things do feed off the darker emotions in a human life. I suppose I can, well, use this. I was going to take that girl, and, well, she has an attachment to one of my other proxies, I suppose the word would be. I was hoping maybe she would be able to be useful to me in some other capacity, but perhaps with you she would be more productive.
I'm uncertain of the exact productivity level, however, she is at least the one able to maneuver me where I need to be at the moment.
That's fair, that's fair. He kind of twitches for a moment and then one of his hands comes up, touches the side of his head, and when it comes away, it's pulling a strand out. And eventually the end of it snaps off at the base of his head, and he kind of wafts this tether over to you. Unless you want to get out of the way of it, it
Oh
just
yeah,
kind of...
she'll carefully make a motion with her hand for it as if accepting it.
Fair enough. It contacts with your skin, and a lot of pictures start shuttering through your head. A lot of faces, not many names particularly. Not a lot of the faces are just kind of glimpses of motion and different things along those lines. Mostly from very low down. You get the feeling these might have come through the eyes of animals or something very similar. And it flickers a few more times, and you do actually recognize one or two people. Damien, and you do actually see, if I can find the goddamn name again, you do actually find Emily Creek's picture as well, one of the people Liz used to know. And they do seem to be with some of the people who most definitely look like hardcore hillbillies, picking up something from the back of a car. And then one last flash. Again, it looks like the closed Lotus, but present day, very decrepit, very run down. Kind of images cease to flash by, and Dunn kind of sighs quietly. That is as much as I've managed to put together. Unfortunately, my physical presence is limited, other than assuming control of some of these more weak and corrupted people. If you have the capacity to, I don't know, disrupt their activities, bring the police's attention to what they're doing, or find some way to disrupt the trapper, we would be able to do business.
Interesting. I could certainly look into doing that. Hmm.
You did mention something else in the forest that wasn't him?
Oh yes, he seemed trapper. Would he happen to use any sort of hound?
No, he does things to animals and people now
This
too.
is more gruff, large, too much of a taste for flannel.
Well then, no, the trapper is not one for clothes. If this other entity is willing to cooperate, my offer extends to him as well.
Well, I can relay that over. I'm certain he'd be interested. He, in fact, was interested in removing some things out of here to begin with.
I would be willing to allow him to claim territory of this forest if that is his desire. The people will be gone, but if he feels some connection to the place...
I'm unsure. I don't know him very well myself, only had a meeting with him last night, but I could at least relay it.
Oh, very good, very good. Well,
That said, a question for you.
go on.
You said you wanted my ward?
I was planning that, yes.
After this initial plan goes off, if you can see fit to deliver me where I need to be, I think that's certainly able to be arranged as well.
We'll see. We'll see.
Believe me. It's part of... She wanted to be with her friends. I'm certain she'd be happy to be here.
I'll bear it in mind. And then there is kind of a vibration, and then whoop, you're back out of the astral plane. Yeah, and Liz is now just sat there looking really distraught because this has been happening in real time. And her phone has been off, so she hasn't been able to... Yeah, as you can see, she's kind of walked around the back of the house, started knocking on windows, can't seem to get anything.
Yep. Sorry about that. He should be coming out soon, though. I figured I look up some dating information, and it seems that some boys like to make a girl wait.
Oh, well, that's kind of a jerky thing to do.
It is. But you should not say that to him, because that would ruin your chances.
Well, I kind of swallows it. That kind of she doesn't feel that way, but kind of goes, okay, and waits. And yeah, only about 5 minutes later, there's footsteps inside, and the door opens, and there's Damien looking perfectly normal. Kind of smiles and kind of waves like, hey, and there's a very awkward exchange between the two of them. But yeah, you definitely, Damien is not how you've remembered him and not how he normally seems to be.
That's fine, it makes it easier.
And yeah, after a very brief kind of conversation between the two of them, because goddamn it, I'm not going to play an NPC conversation out just on my lonesome. Whoops.
Dance, GM, dance.
No.
Tables have turned now.
God damn it. He does suggest that maybe staying in the house wasn't really doing him any favors because he was getting really cooped up and he was having a hard time breathing. And thought, maybe we'll just have a wander around town and just see if there's anywhere they could hang out and just look at some stuff.
That's not getting me where I need to be.
Oh, no. And then, yeah, Scott just... Damien just starts texting on his phone. And the text...
Got a new phone.
It's a much cheaper. This looks like a backup phone. It's not a smartphone at all. It's the bog standard one. In fact, Liz does comments like, "What happened to your phone?" And he goes, "Dropped it down the toilet." Starts texting. Just telling my mom I'm going to be out for a while. Sends a text, and it comes through to you, Kiri, but not the phone precisely. And he goes, It just reads "play along."
She grimaces because she doesn't like being the one following someone else's plan, but fine.
That's fair.
Work with Big Paul. He promises no plans.
Okay, fair enough. Right, so, and yeah, he'll start kind of leading Liz through town. Right, Paul, what are you doing? It is morning. There are police cars outside the chapel now because, someone poked Brother Tom and he hit the floor like a sack of turnips. Apparently he came down...
Literally, he was full of turnips. I don't get what happened. This is strange.
Turnips fell out of him.
He was just bleeding maple syrup everywhere.
Shit got weird. That's my second monster now. Fills me with turnips, but
Oh, God.
Turnips everywhere.
Oh, Jesus.
Turnips on that turnip dimension. Let's go snoop around the commercial district where was getting the fevery feeling and
fair enough.
see if we can sniff out any more of those symbols that the priest is talking about.
Yeah, that's fair enough. So yeah, you're wandering around there. I like how you killed the quest giver. That was absolutely beautiful.
Well, that's why I got his information first, and then
it makes sense, honestly. Right, yeah, you're wandering around, and it takes you a little while, but eventually you do manage to zero in on where it's coming from. It's very much coming from one of the more rundown areas, and yeah, eventually you do track it down. The Closed Lotus, and yeah, it's a fairly large, completely decrepit looking building, like lots of what would have been multicolored tiling if it was about 40 years ago, which is now almost entirely bleached grey and white. But yeah, like the front piece probably would have looked absolutely glorious in its heyday. And there are like metal shutters on the windows. There are obviously a big bar across the main door. But yeah, there's graffiti. There's just general detritus and crap like that. But yeah, you get the very distinct impression that there is something inside here. This sick.
No, I just looked back at the map and I realized that the Lotus Spa is not closed. It is the closed Lotus Spa. Okay.
Yep. So and yeah, you're getting a couple of looks because I mean it's a Saturday, it's fairly public. Like people do go through here. There are still a couple of places open, but it's odd for someone to just stand there and look at a decrepit building without anything without anything happening.
I don't mind being strange.
Yeah, that's fair enough. You do. Normally, you've only seen like one sheriff's department vehicle, but there do now seem to be one or two state police vehicles rolling through town now and again.
Let's try. Fuck it, let's just pass.
Fair enough. So how are you gonna
Get that bar open? Yeah.
Are you just gonna in full view of the street smash the door open?
Jimmy that bar. See how much it gives to my
No, that's fair enough.
man zombie strength.
In which case, well, so are you trying to do this discreetly?
Yeah, relatively.
In which case, remain composed for me. Roll plus cold.
All right. I am 0 cold, right?
Yeah.
Right? Yes. 4.
Fair enough. Well, you can. Well, fair enough. All right, I'll say this. Yeah, you crack it open, and a huge piece of the front kind of facade comes off with it. And a cop car that was just turning the corner stops and starts reversing.
So the facades, and they saw me tear that down, or they're seeing me becoming more zombie-ish.
Oh no! You've kept. I would say you've kept your visage, but no, I mean the facade of the building, like the tiling on there, has started coming off in chunks.
Oh, I tore off too much. Gotcha.
Yeah, you overdid it. I was basically like, you're going to do it either way. It's just whether or not you go pop and the whole panel comes off, or crunch, you just rip a lump out. So yeah, the car is now reversing towards you, and someone is kind of beginning to wind down the passenger side window. Kind of.
Let's just go inside if I can, or
if you want to hop
ignore
inside
them. What are they gonna do?
Yeah, fair enough.
Not kill me.
What are you going to do? Shoot me with your non-holy bullets? Yeah, so you just kind of hop inside. And yeah, inside the building is... Yeah, this is kind of... You're getting a really old vibe out of this place. It's cold and wet. And there is just this overwhelming sense of sorrow. Like, genuine, like, that racking kind of sadness that you'd normally only feel if like you'd lost something truly meaningful to you. And it just seems to be permeating everything. Yeah, and there's basically it's a big open space inside. It looks like there's huge amounts of open baths, which were apparently supposed to be fed by fountains coming out of the walls, but everything is dry. Everything is... there's no water dripping out of them whatsoever. There just seems to be a general funk in the air that's making everything slightly clammy. And yeah, as you walk in, you do hear the car stop and a door open, and some footsteps start coming towards where the window was. Hey, you in there? The hell are you doing?
I look over. Is he visible?
There's a guy kind of looking through the window. He's got got one hand resting on his gun, one with a flashlight on, looking in there.
So let's see.
You belch at him, he dies. What tags does your belch have?
+2 harm.
Oh god.
And magical. Let's see. I used it before when whenever I get a fake sleepy and ghost spirit form, I get kind of corpsey.
Yeah.
Corpsey like zombie, or corpsey I go like flump and...
well, when you do...
Or do I not know?
Well, your body doesn't dematerialize, you just kind of go away from it. So it could mean you're just catatonic. It could mean you just collapse. It depends on what kind of thing you are. I mean, yeah, you'd probably want to try and tuck yourself away somewhere before you left your body. Otherwise, you just go.
I was considering going like,
You just
no one here, but us corpses. And then like goes communicate with whoever's here, but like
He broke in here and immediately died, and apparently lost a leg.
oh. Tempting, but
No, Greg, you need to do it. It's your call.
let's find out.
Your call.
Yeah, as I said, there are
I'm
no
going
wrong.
to this, reach out spiritually to whatever's here.
That's fair enough. I mean, you can do that without necessarily. It's only if you want to like astral project yourself. If you just want to connect with whatever's in here, then you can do that without having to leave your body.
And then be like, excuse me, I'm being shot.
Hang on a second, I've got someone on the other line. Blam, blam, blam.
Okay, I'm back.
Fair enough. So yeah, roll me plus eerie.
All right.
Well, do you want to pierce the veil or do you want to connect?
I'm going to connect.
Fair enough.
Let's see. That's +1, 5, 6. So still failed.
God damn, man.
Fuck these dice. You know what?
Fair enough. I get to ask.
Wait, power.
I get to ask you a question.
Mhm.
Fair enough. Because, goddamn, I never anticipate what the hell's going to happen if someone rolls this poorly this frequently.
Well, yes. Congrats. But
Rolling shit, 24.
test that motherfucker.
Oh, goddamn. Right. Yeah. You definitely like hear sobbing coming from what feels like below the building. And you know what? You actually hear, Emily? Is that you? Emily, it's been so long. Come back to me, Emily. Yeah, you kind of just hear that. The voice sounds female, relatively adult.
Right. The fake mother. No Emily here. It's me, Emily.
Just imagine like you're
From
holding.
Canada.
Imagine you're holding up your hand to your ear like a pretend phone, going, "Emily's not here right now." But yeah, if you're gonna respond that, you say Emily's not here.
Yeah. No, Emily's not here right now.
Yeah, you hear from behind you. Oh God, is he? I think we got it crazy. Get the pepper spray. Yeah, you kind of think someone's coming in from behind. Wait, let me rephrase that. Someone enters the room through the window behind you. Yeah, there's no response from the female voice, but yeah, it sounds like whatever the police officer is coming towards you.
Yeah, let's deal with that. Ass.
I'm sorry,
Doing his job.
I'm giving the Ripper stuff to kill. Give me a break here.
No. That's like in personality, but not in character.
yeah.
Just like, people. Like,
Just turn around, snap his neck.
yeah, pretty much. Like, did you ever see Dogma, the Kevin Smith movie?
Which one?
Dogma.
Oh yes.
Girls and shit. Where I think it was Matt Damon just like gets a
Oh,
security
yeah.
guard. He's like, oh, excuse me. He like doesn't even look, like reaches one hand over, just twists. And,
Oh yeah. Oh, traumatized. And don't roll dog shit.
AM weapons particularly useful for this one.
Well, I mean, you could have your chainsaw sick him.
Even better. Yeah, don't even have to look at him. Just like,
Yeah, you just whistle and suddenly chainsaw at head height. Yeah, so roll them bones.
Sure. I got a 7, only my bonus. Better though. I'm getting medium results now.
Fair enough. Pick one. Inflict terrible harm, suffer little harm, drain one creep. Tell you what, with drain one creep, I will say if you choose that, your chainsaw, Bert will actually become supercharged for a brief period of time. If you choose that one, you decidedly achieve your gold, which is kind of self-explanatory, and then the disrupted or impressed, whatever.
Let's see. I also have marked on that. I assume that means it's easier to hit him next time if I had to.
Yeah. If you kind of nick him, you'll be able to find him way easier.
Mm. Let me see. Boop, boop. Yeah, you said particularly tempting. Let's go with the Steel's Creep.
That's fair enough. Well,
Give Bert some juice.
considering he does 4 harm, the cop's dead. If I just refer to my core playbook, I think I've got how much harm on a mortal that does. Mangled, shredded, past the point of saving. Yeah, if you've done 5 harm, that's not a body, that's scenery. So yeah, you basically killed him as much as humanly possible whilst still having a corpse.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Monsters
so
wouldn't like that much
yeah,
damage.
yeah. Bert just kind of like the guy reaches out with one arm, and Bert just takes the arm off, flips in midair, and splits the guy down the middle. And yeah, you get the Bert just kind of starts sucking in the blood that's on the chain as he revs his way down, and the guy just kind of falls in half. Uh, and Bert just kind of sits there, kind of trundling quite happily in this pool of viscera, and you haven't even turned around.
Oh yeah. Just like
By the way,
squat down
by the
while
way,
still looking away.
your
but,
back
like,
is covered in blood. By the way.
sure. Yeah, still looking up at the weird astral plane or whatever, but like crouch down, hold a hand out so he can come over and get pet when he's done. Just leave the hand out there probably for several minutes.
Yeah, no, kind of Burns looking really excited now, kind of bouncing around his little spider legs and kind of runs under your hand a couple of times, like, yeah, and yeah, there are footsteps, rapid footsteps now coming from outside. With what the hell was that?
He had a partner, and I'm loud and gruesome.
Yeah, the guy you kind of turn if you want to turn around. The guy is kind of puts one foot on the windowsill, leaving himself through, looks through, and just sees the blood and the bisected corpse of his partner, and just freezes. He just kind of like looks up at you.
Let me see. I'm gonna mess him. I'm gonna turn around and just pet the chainsaw and just go leave.
You could have done that with the first.
It's scram, eh?
You do that with the second one, not the first. I like that. But yeah, yeah, by all means, menace, and you can fork in Bert's supercharge to take +1 on the roll.
Can I bank that, or is that kind of a?
For the rest of this, when you leave the building, it's gone.
Yeah, I'll use it now. I don't imagine a fight necessarily coming up. Maybe we'll see how
Yeah.
it goes.
So you're forking this one in.
Yeah, I'm gonna channel +1 for that.
Cool.
Did not need it. Rolled 12 again.
Well, you get 13, so congratulations, well done.
Well, actually 15 because I had Wrathful. So.
Oh, sweet Jesus! Fair enough. Right. So on a tell you, fair enough. They either do what you say or take what's going on his chin. He runs the absolute fuck away. He doesn't even get back in his car. He just takes off down the street screaming. Oh man, yeah. And yeah, you have some peace and quiet for now.
I assume I don't get any creep. That's right. The creep went to.
That guy didn't even see it coming. Yeah, and that too.
Only because I said so, and that went right to Bert.
Yeah. So yeah, yeah, you definitely feel like whatever was talking before inside the building noticed that something just died, and there is like not a shake, but a ripple. Like the energy fluctuates in this place. It almost feels a little stronger. But not necessarily sicker.
So it also likes the death. Not surprising.
We have something in common. Yay!
We're like bros. You could be besties now.
Now we are married.
Murder bros.
I will make you my lumberjack wife.
No, this was the ceremony. You already did it. Good job.
Yeah, I was going to say, Mazel Tov. Yeah.
Smash a head against the ground.
You just drive someone's face into glass.
Stomp the skull.
You wrap someone's skull in skin and just step on it.
What, you mean you get a head?
Nice. You have more skin. You need to completely encapsulate fragments.
All right, fine. Yeah. So yeah, and yeah, you do hear the voice again, and the voice kind of was kind of who, who, who feeds me? What? Who? What? And yeah, there's now a definite disturbance coming from below the building.
Like a negative sensation, or just like that ripple effect?
Like a ripple, but you can, but it's emanating from below. In fact, yeah, you do actually notice a couple of drops of water start coming out of the fountains. Like it's like brackish, old, stagnant water, but there's like an occasional blip.
I'm Paul. I'm Big Paul because I'm big.
Oh, well, hello, Paul. And kind of there's now a few more drops coming from the fountain, and then there's like a and something glops out of the fountain, and like more of it starts coming, like just patting into a pool. Um,
That'd be red and brown stuff, I take it.
no, this actually looks quite like kind of algae-like. I mean, there's definite patches of this dark brown goop in it, but some of it looks quite alive and vital looking. And something starts rising up from it. It's taking on some vaguely humanoid-looking shape, kind of grabbing at bits of scenery to lever itself upright as more glop starts slopping out of the fountain, until there is kind of a vaguely female-looking form. Like no really discernible features. Like the face is like a slight relief, but no actual definable features. Um, with like a long mane of mossy hair coming off of the top of the head, and it just starts very weakly moving towards you. Who I am? I am Minikata. Um, I I was the spirit of this place. Who? Why did you come here? Why do you bring? Why do you bring offerings? All the others, they just bring pain. They bring the sickness, and they feed it to me, and they make me. She kind of you actually like if it was possible to determine a grimace from a body movement, yeah. They make me birth this sickness.
Well, the offering was not an intention, but no regrets about it. As far as the sickness is what brings me here, to a degree. I'm new here, and I think there's far too much sicking, ain't proper, and far too strap trapping of the animals. And I means to fix it, eh?
So you're a friend of life, and a friend of the forest. Again, if you could tell if something was smiling without having a mouth, this thing looks like it's suddenly starting to smile. Kind of opens its arms, and it almost feels like it's straining to make a stronger shape out of itself, but it's like the blocks and blobs of darker matter are kind of restraining it from doing so. And kind of lets its arms drop and starts pouring at the darker lumps. It's like it's slowly just becoming a part of me now. Soon it'll just completely consume me, and then, well, then this place dies, and it will never come back.
Kind of folds his arms and kicks a little bit at half a torso, and death has its place here and there, of course, but I'm just going into pirate with him the more I find I use him. And I throw an A in there to sound convincing.
Swashbuckling Canadian ghost pirate. Yeah, it works. In fact, yeah, if you've not the body anywhere near her, she does actually kind of reach down and start pushing her hand into the wound.
Yeah, he'll brace a foot on it and slide to like a air hockey puck. With strange skill, with his mystical Canadian heritage.
Roll plus Canadian, yes.
Oh man, I got like plus 10 in that.
Oh Jesus. Yeah, and it kind of she just kind of puts both arms into the body, and it just begins to. It doesn't putrefy; it just decays. Like if you could see a body decay over a period of months in high summer, over like a minute, that's effectively what happens until there's nothing but bones there. And yeah, the thing, Minikata is looking refreshed. Like the darker blocks are still there, but the surrounding kind of algae-like covering is much brighter and more like soft and exuberant. And yeah, her face actually starts to take on some definition, and she looks very much like a Native American. A very strong looking jaw, very kind of, again, everything's still the same kind of algae color, but a very kind of very clear eyes, very strong looking features. And yeah, she does, with much more defined hands, kind of reach out and take, if you're not going to stop her, kind of take your hand. Kind of, thank you.
Yeah. Arms are folded, but sure.
Well,
They don't unfold, don't stop her.
In which case, she just kind of reaches out and puts her hands on his shoulder and just, thank you. You've shown me more kindness than, well, she kind of scowls. Done. She kind of spits the name and looks down, kind of rubbing at the lumps on her. He promised me so much, and he lied. He lied every single time. Now, look at me. I am a midwife to decay. I know that this town needs to be reborn. I know that it does need to break down and become one again, but this is going to kill so much and so many without reason. It won't reset the cycle. It'll just break it. And she kind of looks to you, but maybe you could... I don't know how strong he is now, but Dunn would make this place a charnel house. He would make it a plague pit. But if someone could stop him, just... She kind of looks down. It's wrong to wish the death of someone for such a little thing, but if you would kill Dunn, I could restore this place. I could bring life to it again.
Yes.
You? She kind of blinks. You? Yes.
Yes. I mean, I think French was my first language, but you're speaking my language. And everything you say, a friend of nature. You suffer from this disease that this thing brings on, and you ask me to kill something.
She does actually laugh at that.
He does not.
You remind me.
Faintly amused, but or pleased perhaps, but he does not laugh. Yeah, you're killing an enemy in nature. You don't infect a forest to bring it back. You burn it down or chop it down and plant the seeds.
So she kind of she's now got a much more playful looking smile on her face as she looks at you. So you wouldn't be averse to a little chaos, I think is the word.
It kills the time.
It kills a lot of things. There we go.
Yeah, that gets a laugh.
I saw the way you killed those men with their badges. She kind of says that with a very clear sense of disdain.
We appreciate it. I would have killed too.
It would take very little for this place to clean itself of all human presence. And that would force Dunn's hand. I am sure he would come to either kill me and finish what he started, or to seek you out and, well, try and prevent you from finishing the job.
Excellent. How do we start?
She kind of looks over your shoulder. If you look behind you, there are 3 police officers in riot gear. With guns. One of them has already got through the window, and he's got a riot shield in front of him. And the other guys are behind him with shotguns, kind of got them trained on you. They are, all three of them, just staring at both you and the huge green thing that's standing in front of you.
Were I more verbose, perhaps I would have told the man to not tell anyone. Oh well.
Sorry?
Were I more verbose, I would have told this man to also not tell anyone when he ran away.
That probably
But
would have been. Hindsight's a bitch, ain't it?
here I am, more monosyllabic. Oh well. I
Yeah.
would have changed if I could.
Whoops. That's fair enough. And you know what? Just so we don't keep,
Bicycle.
just so we don't stick with this for too long.
Yes.
What is your response to the situation? Is
Choppy,
it
choppy.
murder? Choppy, choppy, choppy. Fair enough. Just roll traumatize or menace, depending on what you want to do, and then we will jump back.
Yeah, I was going to ghost sell cell phone girl anyway. So I was going to ghost sell cell phone ghosts. But Eskiri. But Venice.
Eh.
6.
6. Oh, sweet Jesus.
I should have kept the creep.
Fair enough. Oh dear.
I'll heal later.
You will. It will, however, have to be somewhat later. You get shot to fuck. I mean, you won't die from this, but they basically blast your physical body with so much buckshot, you're gonna have to re-manifest in about an hour or two. Because they basically just kind of look at you, look at the body on the floor, look at you, look at the green thing, and go, right, this can be solved with lots of buckshot. And
They have to reload while they're killing me.
Oh, yeah, well, basically, one guy runs dry, starts reloading as the other guy finishes shooting, and then there's this awkward moment where they're both reloading, frantically pushing shells back in. And yeah, they pretty much just shoot you until there is nothing left.
Good leg. A trick knee.
I just imagine like they're shooting you, and when they get your knee, that's when you react. Just like, oh, my knee, you son of a bitch.
Pulls the torso. It's like, oh.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Bert as well. Is kind of drained after going a bit berserk from last time, and has kind of had to make a tactical retreat rather than getting shot himself. So there will be a moment later where you actually have to get back. Just out of scene, we are almost reaching the 3-hour mark. Do we want to just kind of call it in about 10-20 minutes, or how are people feeling?
My internet seems to have stabilized, but that's probably good anyway, just so I actually have a good night's rest for tomorrow.
That's what I was thinking. I didn't want this to run longer than 3 hours. I didn't want it to run longer than 2, but I just kind of flopped around for quite a bit.
Oh yeah, wait.
We always do at least semi-long things and don't care. We interact in character
Well,
forever,
I mean-
just for fun.
Yeah, that's fair enough. We'll tell you what. We'll just do a little bit long. We'll do kind of a wrap-up scene with your character. Sorry, I've completely forgotten the goddamn name. Kiri, even. And then maybe
Yes,
we could schedule something later on to do maybe just the last the last act.
Sure.
If that's
Should be good.
sweet. Fair enough. Fair enough. So, yes. So, Kiri, you guys are, well, Liz and Damien are heading around town. And yeah, they're walking down the street as a police officer runs by them, screaming, just incoherently yelling as he runs down the road, kind of tearing his radio off his collar and kind of just shouting into it as he runs. And Damien just kind of glances over his shoulder, shrugs, starts walking forwards again. Liz looks distinctly more concerned, but just wants to go with it because she doesn't want to seem too out of place. And yeah, you're kind of all walking up the main drag towards the Closed Lotus. And yeah, there are people clustering around nearby. Like there's a police car there with the engine running and the door open. And it looks like someone's like smashed a big lump out of the front of the it almost sounds like a car crash or something. Like someone has just torn a huge lump out the front of one of the windows on the spa. And Damien just kind of holds up a hand for a second. Ah, well, that's new. And his tone of voice is distinctly different. Liz kind of just puts her hand in her pocket and holds the phone. Okay. Then we find out if Kiri is actually there or not.
No, she's there. She's just
Oh,
waiting.
hi.
Like,
Oh, you're just patiently waiting then.
yeah, patiently waiting.
Yeah, fair
Hear
enough.
what he has to say is new.
Yeah, Damon kind of points to a spot just over the way and goes, looks to Liz and goes, wait here. And yeah, his voice sounds a lot more like Dunn's now. And yeah, you can see like his eyes are looking a little red and a little bulbous. And yeah, his gait is starting to look a little bit funny as well as he walks. He walks towards where the crowd is, but then starts trying to skirt around and trying to go down a side alley next to the spa. And yeah, you're this close. You can definitely tell You can definitely tell that Paul's there, and you can also definitely tell there is something else that just came onto your radar. Something that feels sick and sad, but all of a sudden something's happened, and it's starting to feel healthier, more powerful, definitely. And yeah, there's also something else coming your way. It feels like the superficially happy feel, the kind of superficially happy vibe is coming closer as well. So it feels like there's a lot coalescing here. There's also a lot of fear in the crowd.
Ow, 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 ow.
Oh, that hasn't happened yet, by the way.
Oh, yeah, okay. Clear where.
So, yes. Yeah, and if you're just going to stay with Liz as she hangs around there, yeah, eventually you...
She'll probably actually be like, I wonder what that could be. Maybe we should investigate slightly, just closer.
Oh, are you... But Damien said to wait here. You said I shouldn't speak up against... Well, could you make me a charm?
Certainly. That's an 8.
Oh, fair enough. So yeah, as long as you're totally cool with giving her like, she's scared and she wants basically yeah, she goes, well, okay, but if anything goes wrong in there, just want to make sure you'll be backing me up, okay?
Certainly.
Oh, okay.
We're not going far.
Yeah, she starts padding forward. And yeah, the crowd is kind of starting to kind of edge a little bit closer to the window. Someone's got quite close, puts his head through, and then jerks back really suddenly. And yeah, you're starting to notice there are police sirens now somewhere in the distance, coming closer. And yeah, Liz keeps going forward until she can get a really good angle on the window and kind of see what the other guy saw. And yeah, she looks, and there is a body split in half, blood everywhere. And yeah, there's Paul. There is a big lumberjack-looking guy standing there looking off into the middle distance. His back soaked in blood.
Well, that's interesting. But more importantly, how terrified is Liz?
Oh,
You're
sweet,
welcome.
oh, sweet Jesus.
Yeah, a friend of me.
Yay, she plays with the blood. She's happy. No, oh, sweet Jesus. I'm so sorry for her now. Just the worst possible thing. Da 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 da. Just trying to see. Well, it depends on you. Well, she's going to freak out unless you do something to counteract it. Like, you're going to have to do something to chill her out. So if you want to, like, menace her, like tell her to shut the fuck up, or if you want to, like, try and soothe her, or whatever you want to go for.
I'm just really hungry right now. How do I go about that?
Well, she is fucking frightened. I would say you kind of need to get into a position where she's going to feel like she can't get away, and then pop. She's going to I will say if you get into a situation where she will be in immediate threat and not be able to get away, you'll get XP as well as 2 creep. That will be like perfect. That'll be chef excellence.
If she's
Right.
in the danger zone, then yeah.
If Kenny Loggins busts through a wall and starts playing a set, then yes, you have won. You have won anything I ever do.
Lana.
So, so she's basically just gonna be, oh my gosh, this seems very dangerous. Hurry, you should go get Damien. He could be right over there, closer to inside.
Nice.
Oh my god, you're okay, fair enough. Tell you what, do a da 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 da. Yeah, do a remain composed, but take +1 on it because you're doing a running commentary while doing this. So you're basically just trying to sound not too eager to put her in harm's way while you say this.
She's totally got frightened emoticon on her face as well. But
You don't need to put her
that's a
face when you
9.
have smileys.
It's a 9. Fair enough. Actually, you know what? This would have been a feel nothing, not a remain composed. I'm being dense, but oh well. So yeah, pick one out of. You leave it half done, or you like only partially commit to it. It takes a while. You make a scene, or you leave a trail, or you're tormented by what you've done.
make a scene, why not?
Yeah, that's fair enough. Liz just kind of goes, Damien, Damien, and bolts through the crowd, kind of pushing past people, and then goes down the side alley. And yeah, she goes around the corner, and Damien ain't there no more. What's there looks like Cronenberg fucked a hedge. His back has split open, his shirt is off, the back of his skull is open, and there are just big, thick, vine-like tendrils writhing out of his body and pushing into what looks like a cellar window, kind of slurping through that. And as she kind of comes there, she screams, and Damien arches his back backwards, so he's kind of bending over crabwise. And yeah, his head just splits completely open, and these tendrils start coming towards her. Yeah, and right, I'm going to give you a choice. Either you take one creep and you can get her out safely, or you can let her die, take 2 creep and an XP.
I'll let her die, because I'm going to gain 4 creep off of that.
Fair enough. Yeah, yeah, basic
I
tendrils.
wasn't too attached to her, she was just manipulatable.
Oh yeah, you scum, you absolute scum.
I
It's like,
was unclear how attached
like-
you were. Yeah.
I was like Paul kills a shit ton of people, and it's like, hey, you killed one person. It's like, you horrible person. Oh, I love this game. Right, so yeah, tendrils just kind of whip out, and she kind of waits for you to say something, anything. She kind of, and yeah, the last thing she says, she just goes, Kiri? And then a tendril just spears her through the mouth, out the back of her head. It's like butterflies open, wraps around her face, and then yanks her towards Damien's split open body.
She uses just a tiny amount of harm, like, since she can do a little bit, since one of the things with the harm is do physical, she'll just cut her way out of the pocket.
I was going to say, actually, what you're going to want to
Just
do...
land on the ground.
What you're going to want to do is roll plus sly.
Alright.
He is so into you right now.
7.
And you're into him!
Fair enough. I get to make someone for you. Yeah, just be grateful you didn't miss, otherwise that would have been a severe goddamn problem. Right, so you've lost your owner. And yeah, you know what, actually, yeah, because you turned your owner's want against them, causing them pain or suffering. So, yeah, because she wanted to kind of, get closer to people. And now she's inside someone. Well done.
Yep, that was the whole point of
yes.
trying to get him.
So you gain a boatload of creep and mark XP. By the way, if you've failed any rolls, I was going to say, I think Paul has failed at least 5. You have leveled. I should have been keeping track of this myself. But basically, whenever you missed, like rolled a flat miss, you marked XP. Yeah, I'm playing Dungeon World at the moment, and I think I leveled twice in the first session just because I couldn't roll to save my goddamn life, and then died. But yeah, we will. Fair enough. We'll probably actually wrap it up here with just Liz being crunched and slurped and rendered apart and eaten alive by this done Damien hybrid plant thing, and yeah. You're just kind of left face up, on the just in the middle of the alleyway, and then yeah, Damien's kind of clothes start slamming off of him. He starts collapsing into a tiny little ball, and then just kind of the last of him slurps through the basement window. And we'll call it there with Paul's bullet-riddled corpse being bagged, and you sans one owner. So yeah, thanks very much, guys.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
And
thank
every
you.
monster in the play is coming towards one location right now.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Well, that was a bit of a concerted effort. But yeah, thank you very much for doing that, guys.
Oh,